In Mosul, the Ghassaniya school is an example of what happens when war comes to town. Here, a few reminders hint at a once bustling school that has served generations of students in this northern Iraqi city.
I used to have fond memories of my school, but unfortunately it was destroyed during the conflict in Mosul.
Iraq's war to oust the Islamic State devastated the country's infrastructure, including schools. The government estimates 12,000 new schools are needed nationwide. It recently signed contracts with 2 Chinese firms to build 8,000 of them. The project is expected to take up to 8 years, with the initial phase constructing 1,000 schools now underway. This is welcome news for students like Abdullah, who complains of overcrowded classrooms.
When there are too many of us in the classroom, there's too much noise, and it's impossible for us students in the back to understand.
But some Iraqis worry that an unconventional financing arrangement will lead to many substandard schools. Former Minister of Higher Education in Kurdistan, Iraq, Dilawar Al-Adin, explains how China is handling the projects.
They subcontracted it in a much reduced price to Iraqis, so Iraq ended up losing out, and the financing was not actually a debt or a borrowing. It was paid for through oil.
Subcontracting risks many being siphoned off by middlemen.
So if that's the case, then means there's less money for the real builder of the schools, and when there's less money, then worse quality. The more hands in the project, and as we know in the current climate of Iraq, the more possibility of corruption.
VOA emailed the Chinese embassy in Baghdad, as well as Power China and Sinotec, the 2 companies working on the project, for comment, but did not receive any responses. In addition to China, the EU and the US are helping Iraq rebuild its education system. But the US has reduced its footprint in Iraq in recent years, while Beijing's presence has become increasingly noticeable, with its firms constructing dams, power plants, even a science city, as part of an oil for projects deal. In Erbil, Salahuddin University's Chinese language department opened in 2019. Teachers from China come to teach Mandarin. Rayan Mustafa Qadir, a student here, says she anticipates business opportunities stemming from Beijing's growing presence in Iraq.
I thought that Chinese language is one of the important languages in the world, so I choose it. I think I can get better jobs.
From teaching Chinese to building schools, many Iraqis welcome China's help to rebuild their country. For Fahad Abdul Salam, the former student, it doesn't matter which country is helping Iraq. He just wants to see schools become places of learning again. Namo Abdullah for VOA News, Mosul, Iraq.